I want to thank you so much for coming on and speaking with me today. I know that you've been quite a presence in the Real Ones Discord, especially in the pre market trading. And can you talk to us a little bit about that? Why do you trade pre market, and how did you find that to be sort of your niche?
Okay. So I started trading pre-market because I live in Japan. I'm stationed in Japan. I'm in the military. So pre-market for me with the time zone, the time difference was something that I needed to learn to pick up. And I feel like if you're there pre-market, you're kind of early to the moves that can kind of happen in the market. So it took me like a year and a half to really master in the trade, but I feel like it's so easy to read the tape as well. There's not a lot of noise that's going on pre-market, and it's just something that it just took me a long time to really get used to and master. And it definitely pays when you put in the work and screen time and
And
stuff
one of
like
the
that.
things you just touched on was consistency. And I know that that's one of the first things you actually told me is how important it is to have the consistency over and over again and then kind of sizing up and then you start to see that difference. How long did it take you to start seeing it, and did was there a clear turning point for you?
Yes. So the consistency that I found was actually back testing certain patterns with volume over and over and over again. And I did this with small size because I honestly did this with Herb and Thiz, and we used to just trade small, 100 shares, 100 shares, and then I started to size up, 250 shares, 500, 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000, 10,000. But it was all back tested on the plays that made sense, that had news, that were on the gappers list, and eventually you just get more confident in it. That's what if you back test things and you start to see that you have like a huge win to lose ratio, then when the setup is presenting itself, you just build that confidence, size up, and then you start to make more money. The money will come as long as you're confident in your plays that you back test it over and over again, whether you're long, short, an options trader, someone who trades supply demand, someone who's, playing both sides, like, everything has to get back tested in my opinion. And then once you build the confidence, sizing up is a lot less stressful. You can manage your risk
Is
and then
there a
go from there.
certain period of time you would recommend for when you're back testing a new strategy to really see if it's something that is working or not? Or is there a certain number of trades? Or
Certain number
how
of
long,
trades.
if you're back
So
testing a new strategy, how long would you suggest for newer traders to do that to start seeing a
okay,
reliable
okay,
number to base that consistency off of, that ratio?
okay. Okay. I would honestly give it a couple months. When I first started doing it, it took me like a solid 4 months to do. And I remember not even trading. I was just watching the market. Like I want to see how this works. I base everything off the 5 minute chart and the 1 minute chart because I'm a momentum trader. So it took me a solid 4 months, and then I started sizing in little by little. But it's something you don't want to rush because say you take a trade and it goes against you, you don't want to get bent out of shape because that one just didn't work. So you want to see the consistency build up. I
Okay.
would say about 4 months, 3 to 4 months, just to see, how it goes because not every trade you take is going to work. And that's something everyone needs to understand because there's plenty of 5 minute flags that I play that all right, this didn't work. But the more important thing to realize is to realize why it didn't work there compared to where it works earlier. Like, we nail a bunch of plays pre-market. If things are not heated up pre-market, it's important to catch these plays in the beginning and not try them on the backside of the move for the bulls at least, because I'm a bull trader and I don't really short stocks too much or trade anything else really than small caps, mid caps,
And
stuff like
did
that.
taking or sitting on the sidelines, I guess you could say, when you're back testing strategies, did that help you build your discipline? What
Yes,
is
absolutely.
like some of the common
Um, mo-
issues you see with newer traders struggling with discipline?
okay, they're slapping every setup they see. They can, yeah, every alert that someone might be sending,
Just kind of blindly jumping
mm,
in.
blindly jumping in, and then also it's it's missing the play, and then having to realize like, hey, this is gone. The play, the
Hmm.
setup is gone. The momentum behind that play is gone. So you really have to like just accept the fact like, hey, I missed this. I don't want to have FOMO in this, and I'll catch it next time. You know that as soon as I see this happening next time, I'm gonna take a stab because I get a lot of traders who ask me like, "Hey, how do you know when's the right time to buy?" or "What's your risk management?" or "How are you catching these?" And my simple answer is I expose myself to the play, but I don't expose myself long enough to get flushed on or have it start trading
It
against me,
does.
if that
Could
makes
we
sense.
pull up a recent trade of yours so we can go into the strategy a little bit?
Yes. Okay. Pull it up right now. Okay, this is something I
Yes.
worked. Can you see it? Okay.
Hmm.
This was Wish earlier, and we've been really big on, or I've been really big on 5 minute flags, knowing when to play them. They have to make sense, right? Has news. This one had earnings. Is it on the leading gapper for the day? Is it something that has day two continuation? But something that we like to play when you see like organic volume come in on the 5 right here, we get this nice extension where there's actual real volume, like in the millions, and then something like this that pulls back on lighter volume, right? And when you're playing these, you want to look up to the top right here and see how much time is left. So it's timing it, and it's like we're catching the dips. We're not playing breakouts. We're not playing stuff that's super extended, and then going from there and having these type of setups where there's big volume push up, low volume pullback, and then increasing volume on the way up. These to me are just gold because the risk is clear. It's off the 8. It's next to VWAP, the 8 EMA, and you know I think we might have played like
Hmm. And
five or
where are you
six of these
entering on these 5 minute
yesterday.
flags?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's on the pullback right off the 8 EMA, and sometimes the 8 and VWAP they'll line up together. Those are the entries right there because the risk is clear, especially for new traders. Because I've been trying to get this out. Like I did a stream on Sunday. I went over these plays and I can't believe like the amount of feedback I got from it because people are doing it not just on the the trades that we're trading, but
Hmm.
they're doing it on their own on different tickers and they're actually making money. They're showing me that they're like, hey, I just made, 500 bucks. Some guy yesterday, three grand. Like it's awesome because it's not just happening on, plays that people have all eyes on. It's happening all around like these type of setups that are working and you have to catch them fresh. Like I give the first one or two flags. After that, things are going to get like
Okay.
super extended and then the risk to ratio is going to start diminishing. Like, catching these early while it has
Hmm.
fresh momentum is very important. Trying to play the backside of them is a lot more riskier. Like, say there's a flag right here forming, low volume profile still, but it just doesn't work as it would when it's fresh.
Hmm.
Just had
So is
news
that how you're avoiding
and
the
stuff like that.
backside? Is essentially playing that first initial
Yes.
pullback?
Yep. The first pullback, the first flag setup. You'll see it too on 1 minute charts too as well. Yeah, just I totally recommend, especially for people playing momentum, you have to play the front side of the move if you're long, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get back here, and if anyone knows, in order for shorts to get interested, the stock has to make a move. It has to test daily levels somewhere. Like here, let me clear this. I have lines everywhere because
I
I'm
do the
constantly
same.
charting stuff, but this is a, yeah, it's like, I
Hmm.
mean, I recommend it for everyone too, like constantly draw levels, hourly levels, and then keep them in your head. So something like this who's like testing, these levels, it cracks this, next one would be pretty much $6. Shorts are only going to get interested
Hmm.
after it makes a big move. And once you see this make a big move, you'll notice the tape. I use Active Trader as my tape, and then level two starts to get really, really heavy, where people are shorting. As soon as every pop that happens, it gets shorted. The ask is real heavy and stuff like that. So it's so important to catch these on the front side. We did this yesterday with EVGO right here. Nice volume, increasing volume, lower volume pullback, sat again right over high of day, so orb,
Mm-hmm.
opening range breakout area, where it first put in a high and it bounced off it and then ripped for new highs. And this one was also in the theme of the EV sector. The EV sector was hot, so a lot of those names had like just organic volume through
And
it.
how much of do you consider for, a stock like Wish? A lot of people kind of got trapped in that a while back and maybe didn't cut their bags loose and are looking to sell into as soon as it starts going up. Do you factor that in when choosing your stocks to play, or is it just kind of weighing the strength against that possibility?
For me, it's just
Okay.
weighing the strength on it. I know there's going to be back holders from maybe looking to see. I mean, back holders from what is that? That's almost a
I
month
think it was in
ago.
the teens.
Yes, I would definitely take
Yeah.
the teens. Oh, from all the way. Okay, yes. To answer that question, yeah, to clarify that, I'm going
Okay.
everything based off the strength of it. As soon as we get in, especially from low levels, you know, I mean from here to here, that's almost 50 cents. So that's the play in itself. I'm not looking for more. I'm not looking to hold this thing longer. I'm just playing the relative strength for this particular pattern and this particular setup for that day only. After all this, like I probably won't even touch the name until tomorrow or maybe the next day if it only has strength. That's it. Other than that, I won't even look at Wish or consider Wish
Okay.
as a trade anymore, just for
And are you
momentum wise.
scaling in and scaling out, or is it just a singular entry and exit for you? Well, for
For
stocks
Wish,
in general,
okay,
or does it
in
depend?
general, okay. So on the 5 minute setups,
Okay.
I will scale into them, and then the first 5 minute candle,
Mm-hmm.
say like right here, to make a new high, I'll start to
Okay.
average up. Now, I won't average up in a sense where I'm destroying my initial average from like,
Mm-hmm.
530, 553s, but just enough to give me more size so that way I can be more profitable if it starts to really break out. Because in a situation like this
Okay.
would be the target to see how it gets reacted. And then if you look on the 1 minute, well, this is where incorporating the 1 minute and 5 minute is great because once this breaks on high volume, I kind of want to hold it for a bigger move. Even though this gets stuffed right here, it's still holding these 573 levels for a bigger move, and that's
And
exactly
then you're just
what Wish
waiting to
did.
see signs of weakness and scaling out. Okay.
Yes, yep, especially like stuff like this, like weakness for this one, gearing up to
Mm-hmm.
another big daily level, 610, and the whole dollar. Especially small caps like
The
half
psych
dollar, whole
levels.
dollars are going to be big psych levels for these. Yes, exactly. And once you see something like this, which we call a kill candle, more likely getting out. Honestly, on this play, we got out before this even happened because it didn't break six, and that's we're almost up 50
Mm-hmm.
cents on that, and that's just
And how are
amazing.
you able to tell
For
an organic play versus a social media sort of hype play? Is it like what's your
okay,
criteria for telling the difference, and can you tell if something is quite clearly being artificially inflated?
okay, so I would definitely look at the volume. Like I've seen stuff. Let's see. Let me see what happened yesterday. Hmm. Okay, anything that's going to be like not organic is going to be something that has like this huge stick of volume, and then behind it there's like nothing else anymore, or stuff like I know this stock was getting pushed or tried to get
Mm-hmm.
pushed around this level, and if you see PPSI, like look at this volume on the 5 compared to here, like this was all
And
organic
it died
volume,
off.
and then and it died off, and then everyone's trying to, not everyone, but just certain people are trying to push this back up, but look at the volume push up. I tell everyone that I'm trading with, if you see something get pushed up on lighter volume, it's probably not going to break out and eventually get stuffed. And this is exactly what happened right here. So this is why, like, this is also the backside of the play for me. I would not play this unless I see this type of volume
And
in
then
here.
once it starts dying off, you're
So,
done with it and on to the next.
right. Yeah, on to the next one. Honestly, I would. So this is a big thing I go over. Like if we made money right here on this flag, this setup, lower volume pullbacks, it's holding certain levels, why would you want to give your profits back to try to play maybe anything over here or over here? It just doesn't make sense anymore. And then what happens is that you keep seeing these setups, you're there early, so you're sizing into them more, and then you're making more profits, so you don't have to worry about anything else anymore. Like I wouldn't even look at this anymore after the volume dies off and just certain things that, you can tell like I follow other rooms just
Mhm.
to see what's going on. I got certain people that are, I'm locked into on Twitter just to be aware of like what's going on so you don't get stuck into a social pump or a chat room pump because anything like that is called channel momentum. It's just being channeled through pumps, chats, alerts. There's nothing like, true momentum would be this type of volume over here
Do
on
you
the
have a
front side.
checklist that you go through when you do your scanner for the day and then you see a
Ye-
list of stocks? Do you go through and like what is your process for checking it? Do you check for any open offering documents or anything like that?
Okay. So when I go through my checklist, I have trade ideas. I use that for small caps. I want to see if it has news, if it's gapping, like it has a gap percentage. I look at the daily to see if it has room for the long side. I don't really pay too much attention to the
Because you're in and
filings
out
and
so
stuff like
quick.
that because yeah, exactly. I'm in and out so quick. I'm playing this setup in momentum and then I'm calling it. I'm hitting the gas and then I'm literally laying off the gas right after the move is
And
done.
how many stocks per
So it's
day
just
do you
news.
trade on average?
Probably about yesterday was about
Okay.
seven
And you just
stocks.
kind of have your scanner
Yeah, seven
constantly
tickers.
like going, or do you have your list already
Yeah,
in the
so
morning?
I have this right
Okay.
here. So I have three monitors. So this one was my main one, the trading one. This is my right monitor. I have was that eight more stocks on watch, and then I switch them to the 5 minute. Usually after like an hour, hour and a half, after the bell, I switch everything to the 5 minute, and then if things are fresh, I'll switch them back to the 1 minute. And then my left monitor is Discord, scanners, social media stuff, just so I can be
Are
aware
you
of what's going on.
creating like any price alerts for that? Because I feel like, especially when you're starting out, trying to monitor 8 different stocks at once can be a little overwhelming. So, do you create any price alerts, or did you
Yes,
just kind of
yes.
gradually increase the number of stocks you're watching?
So I actually, it's crazy. I
Oh,
never
okay.
set price alerts. The one thing I'm looking for is for the 5 minute
So you're just
setups to
kind of
happen
looking back and forth.
because especially
Okay.
I'm looking back and forth, I'm scanning, and usually once I'm in one play, I kind of block out the rest. Like even if I hear them on the scanners, high day, just block them out because I think the focus needs to stay on the play that you're already in. That way you're not getting
So
chopped
you'll
up
only
with other
take
stuff.
one stock trade at a time. Okay.
Yes, yes. Unless there's like a lot going on. Like yesterday, I was in three different trades at once, but the size different, like the size ratio is definitely going to be a lot different than hey, I'm like I'm slamming Wish like right away, grabbed like 6,000 shares, started to size up a little bit, and then other ones were running, but it was like lotto size, like 1,500, 1,000 shares, just because if like the EV sector was going, I kind of take starters and kind of let them do their things on the plays that are a little less
Okay.
volume.
And for as far as teaching and having others watch you, which I feel like can be a little overwhelming. Did you feel a little
Yeah.
self-conscious at first like, "Oh, what if I have a
Yes.
really bad day?" Like when first starting out, did you ever have that? And like Did it take you a while to get used to
Yes,
people watching you trade?
absolutely. Absolutely. I think when we first started it, because we used to trade just five of us
Oh, from
and
the
in
Real
voice. It was
Ones
just
Discord?
us. We weren't
Oh, okay.
for the real ones yet. Yeah, it was just yeah, it was me, her, Fizz, Zen, and a few other traders. We just were all trading together. There's nothing else to
Mm-hmm.
do, but it was just us. And then once we started doing voice in another room, but it
Okay.
was a paid room, and that's what like that paid stuff like is a huge other topic. Like I don't agree with it. Those price alerts that are given, like here, pay for these, I'll give you alerts. That's just shadow
Mm-hmm.
trading to the T. Um, so when we were doing the voice in the beginning, it's like nerve wracking because as we're trading, we're teaching how to scale in and out, what to look for. Like, hey, that's being pumped, that's socials. It is nerve wracking. I think it took probably like at least a couple months to get over, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's just natural because you build a community with everyone, with like, people, you get to know them, and yeah, it's
It
it's
does
it's
seem like
great. I
it's
love
a
it.
big
I
passion
love
of
it. I
yours, helping others and teaching everyone like your own thought process.
yeah, definitely. It's so this was something that there's a lot of things in the past where like I stopped doing, I gave up, started a company, didn't follow through with it, school. So this, like, I took it really seriously because when I was in the military, I got hurt, so I knew I wasn't going to do my whole 20 years. So I took this really seriously, and I saw all the craziness on like, the other side that's going on. So if I could have learned something and then gave back to, the community, and everybody else can make money, because I have people who like message me, hey, Mike, I just need to make like a few extra bucks for my family. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm not looking to make a lot of money, but if I can just make some consistent
Mm-hmm.
money to help them out, that's all I'm here doing. So that like stuck to me, like same thing like Bob's doing, changing lives, like that stuck to me. You know, this is all free. I love it. That's the best thing because I feel like the karma comes back. Like you give out good stuff, eventually things are just gonna, come right back to you. So I definitely have a huge passion for this, showing people, because it's to me it's like
Right.
it's us versus the market. It's not me
Right.
versus you. It's not yeah, like there's two sides to this, and there's even large caps, there's options. Like there's no like it's not me versus you, it's us versus the market. How can we learn? Because in all reality, like even on Wish, like me taking a starter like 6,000 shares and then I average up to 8, there's on a especially like down here, and then the momentum, like look at the volume, like 1.5 mil, 3.1, 2.3, like my 6,000 shares to the relative strength is
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So what we're doing is learning how to ride with the momentum. And that's the best thing about organic plays, because I can buy 20,000 shares, sell it, and you can literally watch it. It doesn't even budge. It just
Right.
keeps continuing to go up. Those are the best plays, rather than buying 20,000 shares and then you see
Yeah.
it get dumped on the tape, and then all of a sudden people are getting screwed, losing a
Mm-hmm.
dollar, dollar 50
And
per
you don't
share.
have to worry about that team player mentality
Yeah,
where
you don't have to worry
no
about it.
one can
Yep.
have a different perspective. Because I had Thiz on here for our last episode, and he was talking about short trading, and I feel like there is just this very unhealthy mentality about it being a personal thing to have a different perspective.
Oh, I know.
And so that's a really good point about organic plays. Like it's just gonna keep going. It doesn't matter if someone else has a different perspective on it. The stock's not going to care.
Right.
It's not going to matter
Yeah. Yeah. That blows my mind too, because I hear it all the time. But like let's be honest, like a stock is not just gonna go
forever.
up, up, up all day, right? Forever. So there's two sides. It's the bears versus the bulls. So, if you're not too comfortable playing the momentum or the setups and you're waiting for a blow off the top, which that's what this calls it. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
waiting for a blow off the top. I want to see this thing fail on heavy volume, and then I'm going to play it. It's like the opposite for me. I want to see increasing volume, low
Right.
volume pullback, rip. He
And
wants to see
dump.
a thing rip. gets stuffed, and
Yeah.
then he's ready to short it.
Mhm.
He's very good at it too. He's very good at seeing it, reading the tape, and crushing it. I love it. It's and then on top of that, when you have like people like that in voice with you, you get to learn both sides. Like,
Mhm.
what is he looking for? So if he's looking for this, let me not touch this anymore
Right.
as a long,
I
as
love
a
that
bull.
too when I'm because
Yeah.
I don't trade small caps too often unless the market is hot enough for them. But one of my favorite
Yeah.
lessons that I learned was to think like a short. When you're trading long, know where they're
Yeah.
waiting
Yep.
to attack you, which is another thing. The stronger the momentum, the less strength that shorts have to whack it down.
Right. Exactly.
Did you have
Exactly.
anyone teaching you or anyone that you kind of learned the most from when you were going through your learning journey?
There was okay. So I was a part of another
Mm-hmm.
room. It was a paid room, and there wasn't like so much
Mm.
teaching going on. You had
Oh,
to kind of
okay.
do it yourself. And I mean, obviously you're gonna learn like when people make plays, like, oh wow, how did he learn? How did he make money on this? So then you pull the chart up, you
Mm-hmm.
start to realize things like, okay, this is why it worked. This had news, it was strong momentum. Okay. And then I think from there it was moreover when I saw, Herb and Thiz, they were like killing it back in February off sympathies and stuff like that. And I was playing the main runner, I still wasn't like sizing up to these plays, but I really wanted to learn something. So, and I love trading momentum. I was like, how can I master like
Mm-hmm.
the first run up? So I did look up Warrior Trader. I know a lot of people are like, they don't like him too much, but I mean, the guy's really good at trading momentum. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
watch him every day for his 9 to
Stream.
9:30
Mm-hmm.
pre-market show. Yeah, stream, exactly. So I would watch that and I would start to say, okay, this is how he's playing him. He's using the five, using the one. Let me get in before. Let me learn a way to get in
Mm-hmm.
before that even happens. And that's exactly what I did with these 5 minute setups. And then I got a hold of his course, and and that's when it like things started to really make sense to me because I wasn't paying attention to the tiny details that were making me more confident in my plays. So once I started doing that, you can start to see him on the 1 minute. Right after you take a 5 minute entry, you're looking at the 1 minute for certain things to really, ramp up and like kind of go in it's the right direction that you want it to.
And before I let you go, is there any words of wisdom you would like to give to your group at Real Ones or any beginner traders?
Yes. Let me
I
see.
didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Words of wisdom. If you're gonna start trading, or if you're a new trader, or if you're having struggles, I would definitely sit back. Like you don't need to trade every single day or even trade every single play, but screen time. I would get as much screen time as you can. Know why the play is going. Know what's going on around you, and then start to backtest whatever strategy you're trying to incorporate. Like that's my biggest thing to give out. Backtest, backtest, backtest. Don't just buy things because oh this level's holding up or this looks like a good pullback, or backtest those strategies. Buy them with 100 shares. I see there's people
Mhm.
doing with 5 shares, 10 shares, and they're trying to find that consistency because once you find the consistency, there's nothing that feels better than slapping an extra zero or doubling your share size and then starting to bring in more profit. So I would backtest things. Don't blindly follow people. Learn why they're calling the play, why the setup's there, and yeah, I would backtest, and
Thank
slowly
you
size
so
up.
much for coming on and talking with me. It was such a pleasure, and I love your hat. That's festive.
Thank you.
What is
That's
that? Oh, that's
it's
what I love
Charizard.
about
Yeah,
you.
I'm a Pokemon dude. I like this is my like the only thing. Every day I post cards and the real ones. Like, hey, this is the card of the day. I did my stream with this hat, so I kind of want to keep it a thing.
It's
That's
your
my
theme.
logo, Charizard. Yeah, it's my theme. I trade with this every day now. It's like my lucky
All
charm.
right. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Want more Trader Babes? Subscribe now and connect with us on social media for exclusive content and access you won't find anywhere else. And we'll see you right here on the next unforgettable episode of Trader Babes.